Howdy, Possum Patty and little Miss Titi here. And well, I thought Mr. Possum was serious when he said I was banned from the flea market. But as you can see, I have another haul to share with you, so come on along. This is the sack that I take with me to the flea market, and I call this my Jambu bag. And why do I call it my Jambu bag? I don't know, because that's what it says on the side. It says it's a Jambu. I got this for free, and I never did look that up, so I don't know what it means. But I still call it my Jambu bag. And it is a nice, sturdy canvas bag that I use for buying things at the flea market. What's in here? Oh, I got a free calendar for 2024. I forgot about this already. I'll probably give this to Mr. Possum because he needs one for the garage. And I have some very special things in here. But first, do you remember not so long ago, I made that really huge fabric haul. And, well, between the fabric haul and the huge paper haul that I did, that's why Mr. Possum said that was it. No more flea market for the season. But we have made a couple trips back. And, you know, I got all that fabric for slow stitching. And they were nice little samples, like leftover quilter scraps. And I love it. I got so much of it. And I've organized it into my little drawers over there. But if I'm going to do 1,000 years of slow stitching, what do I need? Yepers, you're correct. I need some thread. And I do have quite a bit of embroidery thread because I did haul a few baggies of it earlier in the season. But I found some more today. Now, I haven't opened this up. I don't know how many are in here. I do see some wonderful colors, though. Let me move the bag for right now. I sorted them out into what I think are the full skeins and the partially used skeins. And there are 40 brand new ones in some gorgeous colors. And look at all these beautiful fall colors, the golds and the browns and the grays. And the dark reds, it's like a burnt sienna and like a mauve-y color. Gorgeous. So if I bought these individually at the Walmart, these would cost a little over $20. And I paid for the entire bag $3. So I got 40 that are brand new or almost brand new. So that's 40 of those. And then, I mean, this has got to be worth some money right here. Because, you know, there's a lot left of some of these colors. I just think they've been opened a little bit. Look at these gorgeous colors here. One purple one. One purple one. Not too many greens. A couple of pinks here. So these are partially open. And then I still have this that I can wind up and use that too. That will not go to waste. So this was a lot of thread for $3. But that is not all. The same vendor that had those also had this. Now these I think are vintage. Busilla, New York, New York. Made in India. And there are 24 skeins in a box. And look at the gorgeous vintage color. I still got the tissue in the box and everything. Look at that. So 24 Beautiful, all there. Beautiful vintage colors. Now, I got this entire box, 24 of them, for $1. But I told the vendor, wait, there's more. And she said, you can have them all for $1 a box. So I was like, $1 a box? Let me get all of them. Now, I don't think all of them are full, but look at this. Beautiful, beautiful, brand new in the box, vintage embroidery floss. From India. And here's some beautiful white. Look at that. I mean, this is amazing. 24 of those for $1. So we got white. We got, I think this is yellow. It's got a little tag on the end. Look at that vintage yellow. This vintage yellow is going to go awesome with that vintage green, I believe. Now it says on the back of the box, 1988. It looks like 1988. This one's 1980. Maybe that one's 1980. Yeah, so these are 1980. Yeah, 1980. 43 years old, so these definitely are your vintage 43-year-old. All right, this has got a mixed color here. So some of these are missing, but somebody put these two green ones here. That says green on the box. This one, I don't know what this one says. So 1980, so these are 43 years old. Look at that. Beautiful condition. Look at this. Like a light rose pink. I think between the yellow, the vintage green, the vintage light rose. Two more. Got the white. Ooh, look at this one. Beautiful. With the pink and the yellow and the green. Oh my gosh, these colors are gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. 1, 2, 8. So there's 9 boxes of these. So this was probably the better deal. Sort of like a cream color. Because I got 24 for $1. $8. So look at that. So that's like, what, 216-ish? 215 brand new in the box, vintage, brand new vintage in the box embroidery floss. So now I have enough embroidery floss to slow stitch on the material for 1,000 years. I promise I have that much. I have that much. So there was that. And I know you're waiting for the next item, which is the little golden books. Now, first of all, let me tell you the story. Let me tell you the story. Okay, we're getting to the part that everybody's been waiting for, the little golden books. But I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. A few weeks ago, I had gone to the flea market, and I went up to one vendor's booth, and I saw some children's books, so I stopped to look at them. And the one that caught my eye was the Little Red Hen. I'm like, that should be like a little golden book. And I picked it up. I said, it kind of looks like a little golden book, but it doesn't have the foil on it. It's, I don't know, it just looked different. It kind of looked like one, but it kind of didn't. I don't know. And I was like, I don't know really what this is. I hadn't seen anything like it before. I wasn't sure what it was worth. I didn't want to ask the vendor how much it cost because I really wasn't sure what it was worth. So I looked at it and I'm like, I'm going to have to investigate this because, like I said, I don't know the worth of the little golden books. So I put it down and I walked away. Never should have done that, right? So I went home and I started investigating a little bit about the little golden books. And I had to print out some information about them. And like I said, the one I was interested in was the Little Red Hen. And the first 12 books that were published in 1942 were Three Little Kittens, Mother Goose, Prayers for Little Children, Nursery Songs, The Alphabet from A to Z, The Pokey Little Puppy, The Animals are Farmer Jones, and This Little Piggy and Other Counting Rhymes. And yepers, The Little Red Hen. I was like, that was one of the original first 12. I don't know if it was the first printing, but it was quite old and one of the original 12. And I was like, ooh, and I told Mr. Possum about it. I said, maybe I could have got that for a good price. And I didn't even ask the man how much it was, right? He says, oh, the vendors, he said, they're pretty smart. They know the value of everything. He said, it probably would have cost too much and you wouldn't have bought it anyway. I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So I did a little research into, the value of some of these vintage little golden books and how to tell the different editions and the different printing dates, because there's a couple different systems that were at different times. The older ones actually have the published date, and then some of them have letters in the back of the book, A for the first printing, B for the second printing, and some of them have Roman numerals, and some of them you can't even tell because they have like a copyright date but not a published date. I don't know. Those are the hardest ones to figure out. So if it said copyright 1947, the book can be brand new. It could have been published last year and you don't know. So I did my research and then no expectations, but we went back to the flea market, took my time, wandered around, looked at everything. The vendor was there. And I walked up to the table and I saw some of the little golden books. And my heart be still, right? And I walked over and I started looking at them very calmly. The Little Red Hen was not there. I was like, oh, that's the one I was really interested in. But I took the other ones one by one and I picked them up and I looked through every single page. So the first time through, I kind of brushed over them real quickly because I wasn't sure what they were. But this time I'm a little more interested because now I know they're vintage and what kind of shape are they in. So I turned every page of every book. So after about the fifth book, the vendor yells over to me, the children's books are $3 each. And I was like, I didn't react like I was very excited. I'm like, okay. And I finished looking at the last book, right? And I'm thinking, they're worth more than $3. Probably, depending on the published date and the condition, probably like $5 to $25. I know people charge way more than that, but I think a good price for these might be $5 to $25. So I said, okay. And I took all that he had at $3 a piece. So let me show them to you. Okay, you can see that I got 6 of them. And you can see how the bindings are different. See, I was looking at this binding and I was like, it looks so different from the other ones, but it said the Little Golden Book. And then when I opened it up, it looked a little bit different on the inside, but sort of the same. And this is why I had to do a little bit of research. And as you can see, originally they had like a color spread and a black and white spread and a color spread. Look at the illustrations here. And a black and white spread. And that was to keep the price down, because when these were first published, it was after the Great Depression and like around World War II. And the families didn't have a lot of money to spend on books. So they came out at 25 cents each, and that was to help keep the cost of the printing down, was to have that color spread and the black and white in between like that, okay? So that is one of the hallmarks of the oldest ones. And as you can see, I did get The Animals of Farmer Jones, which is one of the very first 12 that came out in 42, except for this one was the 8th printing. So it was the 8th printing of one of their very first books. So let's just take a moment and look at the illustrations. The printing seems nice and large on these too. Look at this rooster. These are all the animals are calling for Farmer Jones. The cute duck. Beautiful dog. Again, they're mixing up the black and whites with the colored illustrations. Keep the costs down. Look at the pigs. Supper time. Where's Farmer Jones? Oh, there he is. And as you can see, there is no writing or marks, but look how aged the pages are, okay? So this is probably from the early 40s still, the 8th printing. And it's not brand new, but it's in pretty good shape. Now, I also learned that the oldest ones had dust jackets. And I'm like, Little Golden Books had dust jackets? Yeah, well, apparently they did. So this might have had a dust jacket on it at one time. And something else I learned about these books was that that this was new. This book belongs to, and they wanted the children to have these cheap books to call their own with the hard cardboard covers, and to actually inscribe their name in there so that they would feel like the book belonged to them. Before this, children's books were more expensive, and they certainly didn't let the children write in them. But these were cheaper, and they were mass-produced, and the company felt like, have a place where the kid can actually write his name in the book. Now, there is some writing there, but that's all. And it's from Billy and Joe. And it says up here, Little Golden Books are prepared under the supervision of Mary Reed, Ph.D., formerly Assistant Professor of Education, Teachers College, Columbia University. So this is a very special edition of The Animals of Farmer Jones. Now, why I'm talking about this is because in the back of some of these books, see this little bit of tape here? Whoever owned these books, and this is adorable, I love this, made little library cards for the books. He has the animals of Farmer Jones. It says the animals, and then he has the illustrator's name. They wrote last name first, first name last there. And it was never taken out of his personal library because there's no dates on there. But he made all, or she, I don't know, made these little library cards. Now, most of them fell right out because the tape was so dry, and there was like a little cross piece here, and then the card was stuck in it like that. But this one, that one, the piece of tape is still there. Most of them, they just like came right out. They're so old. So this might have been in there since the 1940s or something. I thought this was so cute. He made his own little library, so probably all these books belong to the same child. So one of the original stories, again, 8th printing, $3. And look, another one of the original. This is probably the same year. It's got the same binding. It's got the same back on there. It's printed a little bit differently, though. This has 16 books. This has 34 books. So which one do you think is older? Probably this one, right? It's probably the original 12. And then you 13, the Golden Book of Birds, Nursery Tales, The Lively Little Rabbit, and the Golden Book of Flowers. Ooh, I would love to get the Golden Book of Flowers. Doesn't that sound beautiful? The Golden Book of Flowers. Because now this one's got 34. These were produced by Simon & Schuster when they first came out. So let's take a look at this one. This one's got a little bit of writing here. It's to Baby Charlie. And this one's from Grandma Smith. See, it says copyright 1942 there. These pages are very delicate. And this is the 5th printing, July 1943. So the printings went by pretty quickly because the first printing was September 1942. And already the 5th printing, we've only gotten up to July 1943, not even a year later. 5th printing, July 1943. We have Mary Read in there again. So I believe this one's older than this one because we said this was the 8th printing and this is the 5th printing. So again, we have the color plate and the black and white. I love the Pokey Little Puppy. I'll tell you my favorite part in a minute. They're looking for the Pokey Little Puppy. And they're looking, and there's the green lizard and the fuzzy caterpillar. I'm not used to seeing these in black and white. And there he is. This is my favorite part. What is he doing? The 4 little puppies asked one another, and down they went to see. Roly-poly, pell-mell, tumble-bumble, until they came to the green grass, and there they stopped short. That's my favorite part. I don't know why. Oh, the Pokey Puppy smells rice pudding. And they all ran home. And they dig holes under fences. No rice pudding for you. And she sent them all to bed. But the Pokey Little Puppy, he got his rice pudding. He got home after everybody was in bed. He was very happy. Oh, and this was another favorite part of mine. Don't ever dig holes under this fence. But they dug a hole anyway, and they went on another adventure. And there's the toad. And they go down the hill again. Roly-poly, pell-mell, tumble-bumble. And the mother said they were mad because they went under the fence. Now like this, now it's don't ever, ever dig holes under this fence. Oh, there's the snake. It smells of strawberry. No desserts ever, unless puppies never dig holes under this fence again. Look how different the inside covers are. But you can see where the newer ones get their inspiration from. So I believe these are probably the two oldest, and they're missing their dust jackets, but I love them, I love them, I love them. And I have the Shy Little Kitten, which is not one of the first 12. It's still very old. They stayed 25 cents for a very long time. And now this one is introducing, see, this one's got 34. Now we're up to 41, and they're introducing some of the Disney books, and they're coded with a D. D1, D2, D3, D5, D6. What happened to D4? I don't know. But they're coded with a D. And this is where they started changing the spine. And now we can see that this is copyrighted 1946, and the letter C means this is the third printing. So they've gone on to a new system here already. Look at the illustrations on these. And are these all in color? Ooh. So we've gone from color and black and white to every spread in color. Oh, here's a black and white though. I was wrong. I take it back. Oh, look at the log. It's got lichen on it, or mushrooms. Oh, it's black and white. Okay, I take that back. There are some black and white. We're still keeping the cost down. We're keeping the cost down. Look at the puppy. Oh, black and white. And again, there's no markings, no rips or tears. This child took very good care of his books. Or Mama saved them after he grew up, which I think is amazing. And you can see the shadow on this page of the card that was over here. And again, these cards are made out of a vintage Wheaties box. Breakfast of Champions. So I don't know if these are the front of the box, the back of the box. Oh, this one must be, I don't know, part of the box. Vintage Wheaties box. Scuffy the Tugboat and His Adventures Down the River. I remember when I was young, I loved this little picture on the front. It's like you come down the river and you go past all these different things, and then you get out to the ocean. And you could see Scruffy right there. This one's not signed on the inside. Pages are very vintage. This is a second printing. Almost a first, but it's a second, so it goes way back there. 1946, copyright, second printing. So this was probably printed in 46 or maybe early 47. It might have been 46. So Scuffy the Tugboat was sad. He didn't want to sail in the bathtub, so they took him down to the creek. And they let him go in the creek. And he chugged away. This is the life for me. He's going down the creek. Past the ladies doing their laundry. Oh, look, they're washing the laundry in the creek. That's funny. And there's the cow. I got some black and white here. There's a little deer in the forest. Oh, he went down the rapids. Black and white, it's at night. There's the owl. He didn't know which way to go. Got more black and white. Oh, they're doing some logging. Watch out for the logs. Now he's getting down to where the towns are. Oh, look at the rainbow. Oh, big storm. Oh, it's a flood. Wow. Down to the big port in the city. And now he's back home in the tub, the place for me. This is my favorite part with the, shows all the adventures right out to there. And again, this one had the card over here, so you can see that. But no writing, no rips, no tears. Second printing. I love this illustration. The taxi that hurried. Look at this taxi cab. What's on the back? Okay, we've got sort of the same. Except for now we have 52 little books. And we've got Dumbo, Peter and the Wolf, Uncle Remus, Bambi, and Pinocchio. And then some of these are designated Bank Street books. The Bank Street is just like an educational philosophy. My son went to kindergarten and I believe first grade in a school that encouraged this model based on the Bank Street, which is sort of like active investigation. It seemed like very like social studies orientated, like they would play store and the teacher would talk to them about, you know, the money and where does the food come from and learn about the farms. It was all investigative and also sort of like individual learning too, because my son showed some interest in math and she would give him math problems like no one else in the class got them but him, and he had a little book and he would do all these little math problems in there because that's what he was interested in. Yeah, so some of these are the Bank Street books. So the taxi that hurried, the Bank Street book, 1946, E, 5th printing. So the taxi that hurried is about a little yellow taxi, a bright yellow taxi with 2 red lines running around its body. Inside it had a soft leather seat and 2 hard little let-down seats. Extra seats. And it was a smart little taxi, for it could start fast, jerk, whiz. It could tear along the street, whiz, squeak. And it could stop fast, squeak, jerk. I'm laughing at the driver whose name was Bill because he's got a cigarette in his mouth. And we're hurrying through the streets. And this one does have a little tiny bit of a fold and rip there. Not too bad. Oh, look at this. One page is in color and this one's in black and white. So we still have some of the black and white pages. marking it. Coal truck. A lot of places heated with coal back then. A school bus with the kids. Cute illustrations. I like this in red. Honk, honk, honk. They're hurrying through the town to get to the train station on time. And looks like they made it just in time for the train. All aboard, called the conductor. And there they go, and there goes the little bright yellow taxi. So that is my vintage haul of little golden books and what I have learned today about them. So I may be on the lookout for some more. Mr. Possum said, what are you going to do with them? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with them. I'm going to put them on the shelf. And I'm just noticing them that they're different sizes. They're not all lining up exactly, are they? No. Some are a little off. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'll collect these. I would hate to tear these up and make them into a journal. So I don't really know what I'm going to do with them. Any ideas? Comment below. Well, thanks for coming along today and letting me share this find with you. Happy bargain hunting. Bye-bye.